Hello everyone, welcome to Stealth video series.
Are you an international entrepreneur who is passionate about making a significant contribution to the US public? Would you like to stay in the US while you grow your US-based company? The International Entrepreneur Rule provides a clear pathway for high-potential entrepreneurs to do just that. The International Entrepreneur Rule has had a bumpy history. But thanks to the Biden administration, it is being reinstated. The rule will allow more economic growth in the US to come from international entrepreneurs. Let's take a look at the details and history of the International Entrepreneur Rule. What is the International Entrepreneur Rule? International entrepreneurs are historically an integral part of America's economic success. International entrepreneurs have helped start as many as one of every 4 small business and high-tech startups across America. A study found that more than 40% of Fortune 500 companies were founded by immigrants or the children of immigrants. That's great news. But unfortunately, America has not made it easy for these international entrepreneurs to enter and stay in the US while they build amazingly successful companies. None of these international entrepreneurs came to America on a visa designed for startup founders. Before 2017, there was no entrepreneurial visa for international entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurial people have had to enter the US through pathways designed for students, family members, workers, or refugees. In 2017, this changed with the creation of the International Entrepreneur Rule. The International Entrepreneur Rule is a federal regulation that is designed to create a clear pathway for high-potential entrepreneurs to stay in the US and grow new companies. International Entrepreneur Rule Eligibility. To be eligible to come to the US under the International Entrepreneur Rule, an entrepreneur has to provide a significant public benefit to the US. In practice, this means an international entrepreneur would have to fulfill the following eligibility criteria. The entrepreneur must have a significant ownership stake in the startup, initially at least 10% ownership. The entrepreneur must play an active and central role in the startup operations. The startup must have been formed in the US within the past 5 years. The startup must be able to show that they have the potential for rapid business growth and job creation. There are 3 ways that a business can prove its economic potential. A significant capital investment, more than $250,000, from US investors. Awards or grants, more than $100,000, from US government agencies or other reliable and compelling evidence, e.g. admission into startup accelerators. Under the International Entrepreneur Rule, up to 3 eligible entrepreneurs per startup could be allowed to stay in the US. The international entrepreneurs would use their stay in the US to grow their US company. The initial stay would be for a period of up to 2.5 years. An extension of another 2.5 years could be granted if the startup continues to provide a significant public benefit to the US. International Entrepreneur Rule Timeline. Between 2009 and 2013, the International Entrepreneur Rule was being researched and developed behind the scenes. Grassroots advocates, entrepreneurs, and investors lobbied for the rule, and bipartisan startup visa bills were introduced in Congress. It wasn't until 2013, when the Senate passed a comprehensive immigration reform bill, that the International Entrepreneur Rule took off. The Senate bill included 2 different startup visas. The X-1 visa was to be a temporary initial visa, while the EB-6 visa was to be a green card designed just for entrepreneurs. In 2014, President Obama announced a series of executive actions to fix parts of immigration, including a new immigration pathway for entrepreneurs. 3 days before the end of the Obama administration, the final version of the International Entrepreneur Rule was published. In 2017, the Trump administration froze the Comprehensive Immigration Reform Bill. The International Entrepreneur Rule was also affected. USCIS officials indicated that the rule might be rescinded entirely. In response, the National Venture Capital Association filed a lawsuit against the Department of Homeland Security, arguing that the freezing of the International Entrepreneur Rule caused measurable harm to entrepreneurs and investors. A federal judge ruled in their favor and ordered the DHS to implement the International Entrepreneur Rule. Between 2017 and 2021, the USCIS accepted applications, but made it clear that they still wanted the rule to be rescinded. In 2021, the Biden administration announced that it will resurrect the International Entrepreneur Rule. The Biden administration's stance on the economic importance of immigrant entrepreneurship makes the International Entrepreneur Rule a good fit. Trump's suspension of the International Entrepreneur Rule. In 2017, the Trump administration issued executive orders that had large-scale implications for immigration into the U.S. Although these executive orders were largely aimed at border security, they had a knock-on effect on many immigration policies. The International Entrepreneur Rule was affected because of its parole benefit, which is typically used for humanitarian reasons. The International Entrepreneur Rule was suspended in 2017. The Trump administration was working from a platform of making it harder for immigrants to enter the U.S. The International Entrepreneur Rule makes it easier for immigrant entrepreneurs to stay in the U.S. and grow their businesses. After the Department of Homeland Security was ordered to reinstate the International Entrepreneur Rule, applications were accepted. However, the USCIS made it clear these applications were accepted under duress and that they intended to get the rule rescinded eventually. Biden reinstatement of the International Entrepreneur Rule. The Biden administration has announced that it would officially resurrect the International Entrepreneur Rule. They welcome immigrant entrepreneurs to the U.S. so they can start their businesses. The Biden administration has been very vocal in its support for fair and inclusive immigration policies. They run on a platform that emphasizes the value that immigrant workers and entrepreneurs have added to the U.S. throughout the country's history. The International Entrepreneur Rule encourages eligible international entrepreneurs to stay in the U.S. to grow their U.S. company. Conclusion. The International Entrepreneur Rule provides a clear pathway for high-potential entrepreneurs to live in the U.S. while they grow their U.S.-based companies. Although the International Entrepreneur Rule has had a troubled history, it has been reinstated by the Biden administration. In the coming months and years, we can expect to see eligible, high-potential international entrepreneurs stay in the U.S. on this visa. This has the potential to increase economic growth and job creation in the U.S.
We hope this video has been helpful to you. At Stilt, we provide financial services for immigrants and the underserved. Subscribe to our channel and visit stilt.com for more details.